Hey, ladies, y'all are getting a double dose of me today because I saw a couple of articles that came out that I wanted to share with you. As you are coming in, please like the video. Please like the video. I didn't even have a chance to do all the normal stuff I usually do with the videos because I'm like, oh, I want to try to get this in before 8 o'clock. So let me see right now if I can really quickly just make sure you all like the video as you're coming in. And I got some cool stuff to show you today. So before I do that though, if you're not a part of our email list, you'll definitely want to be a part of it, bwmakingmoney.com. That is where I send you my Wealth Wednesday newsletter. Also, next Sunday, we are having a behind the curtain showing of Robin Roberts' masterclass, all about communication. So if you want to know how to network better, how to influence better, how to negotiate, things like that, then you want to be on my email list, bwmakingmoney.com, so you can get the invitation. No charge to join my email list, no charge to attend that session. We're going to have a really good time though. Yes, D'Ambrosia, I am officially back. I am. So everybody, please put your likes in for me and all of that good stuff. So, all right, I've got two serious uh, articles to show you, and then two like really like let's kick it up and have a good time. And we're going to try to do it all in the next half hour because I want to get out of my office in a half hour. So let's show you here a couple of things that I found. Now, this is a super serious topic with regards to your future employment, ladies. Super serious topic. In the war over remote work, companies are turning full-time jobs into low-paying gigs. So when I saw this earlier today, I'm like, okay, I want to come and talk with you ladies about this, about what is happening. I'm not surprised by this at all. I've been saying, I don't know if I've said a lot on this channel, but for the past couple of months, I've been saying that I definitely have been telling you ladies that the best thing you can do is go back to the office if you're able to go back to the office. Or there are going to be certain remote full-time jobs that make sense for you if you're in sales, if you're in something where they can demonstrably see that your performance is tied to a certain amount of output that you have. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard for these companies to agree to give you remote work. Okay. Instead, they're going to be turning remote work over to low paying gigs. And if they are turning the remote work over to low paying gigs, they don't need us in America. They can get somebody from some other country, is what this article is saying, to do the low paying gigs. So, definitely, ladies, as you are navigating the workforce, I wanted to bring this article to you. So it's saying here, over the past 3 years, the American workforce has undergone all kinds of changes as a result of the work from home revolution. Perhaps the most widely discussed has been uh, the way the remote age has prompted workers to emotionally detach from their jobs. So we're emotionally detached from our jobs, and as a result, it's showing up in our productivity or lack thereof. And these mega companies with ChatGPT, with artificial intelligence, etc., they're not going to need so many people. So that's why also I'm pushing you to actually become the top 10%, so that way you have some cushion when the layoffs come, because they are going to be coming, ladies. Um, so it's saying here, some bemoaned it as quiet quitting. Others celebrated it as a much needed correction to the toxic demands of hustle culture. Of course, in our community, we can say, microaggressions and things like that were being launched at us. Fortunately, I haven't had that situation, but I know many of you have, right? Article is saying here, either way, it's clear that people aren't feeling as connected and devoted to their jobs as they did when they were seeing their coworkers in person every day. And yes, I understand the Business Insider is slanted towards employers, but guess what, ladies? You want to see what employers are thinking so that way you're able to navigate appropriately. It's saying here employees, it turns out, aren't the only ones distancing themselves from the office. Employers are quiet quitting on the whole idea of traditional full time employment. In a survey conducted by the Atlanta Fed last year, businesses said remote work had led them to stock up on, ladies, look at this, part time employees, temps, independent contractors, and outsourced positions both at home and abroad, ladies. If workers are going to be remote, the thinking seems to go, why not get the cheapest remote workers available? Fewer full time jobs means fewer costly benefits, ladies. Your pension, your health care, on the job training, steady paycheck. They can say, you know what, we don't need you this week, so go do whatever you're going to do. Come back next week. No paycheck for you. Are you going to be able to live in that type of economy? They're calling it the Uberization of the workforce. A guy named Nicholas Bloom, who is a professor at Stanford, is saying with regard to this. The more remote you are, the more Uberized the job, I'm going to say can be, not necessarily is, but can be. And the more you're just being paid for the day or the week. So, the hidden reaction of remote work, share of companies seeking cheaper employment options because of work from home. 23% are seeking part time employees, 18% seeking independent contractors. Domestic outsourcing is 15%, temps 13%, offshoring 7%. Ladies, this is going to increase, practically guarantee it's going to increase over the next, I would say, 5 to 10 years. D'Ambrosia saying, I just took a contracting remote job that pays significantly less than what I'm miserable where I am. I really want to fill on focus on my side. Yeah, and that's great. I'm just saying that this is going to be a trend unless you skill up in a way where you can get back to where you were. I'm always a proponent of happiness first, and I had my fill of that this weekend with like, oh my goodness. But you do have to balance out happiness with the type of paycheck that you're looking for, and understanding that remote work can prohibit you from actually getting the amount of money that you deserve and that you want. No problem. No problem with regards to the typos. For companies offering full-time employment, has always been expensive and risky. But there is one reason bosses were reluctant to outsource jobs. They couldn't imagine trusting people to get their work done out of sight. They supervised by way of butts and seat surveillance, checking that people were at their desks typing away and making calls and furrowing their eyebrows in a way that suggested they were working hard. That ruled out contractors because contractors worked remotely. And it ruled out many part timers because no one wanted to commute 45 minutes into an office to just work a 4-hour day. And of course, now with the pandemic being over, all of that has changed, ladies. So basically, what I wanted to say, and again, this is an article that came out today, ladies. This is the trend. This is the trend. You are going to see certain people who are going to be hired full time with benefits, with matching 401ks. And I believe a greater majority of people are going to be part time gig workers. These people are saying it is the beginning of the Uberization of labor, meaning that you are going to be a gig worker, a day worker. If your job says next week, hey, we don't need you this week, take off. We're not going to pay you, just take off, and then we'll pick up the following week. You're going to have to be able to manage that. This is a trend that is forthcoming. Braylon is here saying so true, especially in the service hospitality industries. Most of them are paying you as needed. Glad I got to finally catch a live. Well, I'm glad you're here. Just Being Nosy is back. And Dawn to Earth is saying, I've been remote for 8 years and it would be so hard to go back to an office. My current company doesn't have any offices, so everyone is remote by default. I'm I guess you're saying upskilling to get paid more. Exactly. Ladies, this is not the time to rest on your laurels. This is the time for you to actually upskill and upskill yourself to jobs that they cannot offshore, that where they really want to have an American worker. The Indians over in India are prepping themselves to go toe to toe with us and with our children in the next 10 to 20 years. They're going to be able to do it. They've already started. They're investing in Nigerians being able to go toe to toe with us with regards to employment, South Koreans, etc. So the only thing I can suggest to you is to upskill, number one, and if you can go into the office, consider going into the office, even if you're just going for 2 to 3 days a week. All right, let's see another thing here. And then I've got a couple of fun articles to show you, and then I'm going to head out. This ex VP of HR in Microsoft said, and I've been holding on to this article, but I did want to show it to you, that if you get a performance improvement plan, you might want to think about finding another job. If you get a PIP, performance improvement plan, he's saying surviving it is like a sign on your back, meaning it's going to be very hard for you to actually release the stigma of having that PIP. So let's see what he's saying here. Chris Williams is a former VP of HR at Microsoft and a podcaster, consultant, and TikTok creator. He writes that performance improvement plans are rarely a plan to help someone recover. Williams advises getting a fresh start in a new position. And he's saying here, what is a PIP? So we kind of talked about that already. PIP results. The vast majority of people do not meet those metrics, meaning whatever is in the PIP, the vast majority of people are not like hitting it. So he's saying basically, if you are on probation or anything like that, you may want to start looking at some other options. Though sometimes marginally improved, the issues that cause a performance gap remain. Departure from the company results. For those who do leave, it is a wrenching experience, but many find that an opportunity for a clean start elsewhere is a net benefit. They can start over in a different role, perhaps more suitable to their skills, or an environment more compatible with their temperament. Though painful, the process of PIP followed by escape and renewal works to many people's longer term advantage. So again, I thought this was a very interesting article here about performance improvement plans. Very difficult, according to this guy, for you to get up under that PIP issue. So D'Ambrosia is saying, going back to what we were talking about before, South Koreans work more than Americans. I saw a recent article about that. Yeah, and Americans may not be able to coast much longer. Hey, Trimystique. Dawn Earth is saying, when this live is over, I'm putting in some time to study for my cybersecurity cert. Good for you. I'm making my move ASAP. Good for you. Glad to hear it. And Denise is in the building. She's saying, Ambrosia's saying, yes, girl, about to put time in to finish my chapter tonight. I'm going to be working on my, my software this evening as well. I'm so behind on work, but I took off for the weekend. Okay, let's talk about a couple of fun things and then we're going to go. This is fun thing number one. Wall Street is egging on freezing egg pregnancy delays. So let's see what this is saying here. I wish this person would get off my screen, but whatever reason, the video is not. Okay. Fertility coverage or egg freezing has been hailed as the latest breakthrough benefit for women to break through Wall Street's very thick glass. With egg freezing, mommy leave or maternity leave can be delayed until women have established a solid career, as many successful women working in banking and trading will attest. Wall Street gets to retain a more diverse talent pool that would otherwise migrate to the green pastures of tech, which began offering such benefits a decade ago. So basically, these companies are offering to pay for you to help you freeze your eggs, ladies. So they're saying here, rather, this narrative suggests it's a subtle form of corporate coercion placed upon young women who may have concerns about the not insignificant health risks involved, or have religious objections. They feel compelled to freeze their eggs and put off pregnancy to demonstrate their fealty to their job in the organization in hopes of advancing up the corporate ladder. So, this person here, 26-year-old woman executive at Morgan Stanley, is saying the firm is paying $1,200 for women to freeze their eggs for 1 year, not the best coverage on the street for something that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. After that, the employee kicks in $100 a month. The real benefit, however, is how going through the procedure, again, not without possible complications, demonstrates organizational loyalty. So, ladies, would you want your employer to pay for you to freeze your eggs? Would that even be something you would think of? I know when I was younger, I probably would have said no to that, but I think it's an interesting thing. I think it's very interesting. I think Wall Street wants you to freeze your eggs to prove your loyalty. The tech companies just want you to stay in your career longer and not be in such a rush to get pregnant and go on maternity leave. So next thing you know, they're going to be playing for surrogates. Okay, the final thing. This is about a Black woman and her hair. Ladies, let's talk about it. Woman on TikTok claims her employer wants her to change her hair color, has users sounding off. So, oh, shut up. All right, there's some music playing. Sorry about that. Okay, viral video has TikTok users discussing whether employers should care if workers have colorful hair, piercings, and tattoos. So, this is a Black woman here. This is her, Morgan Curry. It says here she is a job seeker with pink hair who created and shared a TikTok about how she's refusing to change her hair color despite a potential employer's request. So, if this were your daughter, your cousin, your best friend, and she is looking for a job, she has a potential employer who's like, look, I will give you this job, but you've got to change your hair back to dark brown or something like that. She's saying no. And this is like a thing on TikTok where people are actually debating it. You all let me know what you think. You all let me know what you think about this. She's saying here, no, I'm not changing my hair. She's saying here, I've worn colored hair for many years now in several different industries, including hospitality, finance, and marketing. After just venting and posting this video, I do feel there is hope that one day, probably not one soon, but one day it will be changed. I do not feel any better as I am still unemployed, but have more than the necessary skills for the jobs I have applied for. Now, ladies, we all know the problems that we have getting through the door with natural hair. She has compounded that issue with her hair. But it depends on the type of job that she was going after. So the TikTok video generated over 67,000 likes and over 1,600 comments. It appears that nearly all commenters under Curry's posts were supportive of her stance. Be glad they showed you their true colors, one commenter said. You don't need to be working there anyway, sis. Red flag. So again, this is the young lady. This is the young lady. You all tell me what you think of her hair. Potential employer said, we'll hire you, but you got to change your hair color to something more natural. And she said, hell no. So I thought this was a very interesting comment as well. D'Ambrosia saying, oh, this is about previous topic about the egg freezing. So it's benefits them, not us. No thanks. Add another zero and I'll consider it. Huh. Denise is saying it's another way to pimp employees. That is true. This is again with regards to the egg freezing. Yeah, it's another way for them to not necessarily pimp employees, but keep their women employees there longer. So Dawn the Earth is saying, wow, that's crazy. I don't know what to think about that one. My shop is shutting down, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, good. Oh, you mean your shop? You mean your fertility? I got it. I got it. Um, you're saying here, well, she won't get the job with that company. So many different layers and considerations to take when you work for someone else. That's very true. But suppose she has her own business and she goes in for a certain type of contract and they're like, no, we don't want to work with you because you have different color hair. So Denise is saying, rock the brown hair at work and at the rock, I guess you're saying at night, rock the colorful hair on your day off. Yeah, girl, throw on a purple wig on the weekend and keep it moving. You're asking what was the job? I don't know if they said it in the article or if she said it on TikTok. I don't know. You're saying here it depends on the job. Shar is saying, greetings again, ladies. Yeah, I just wanted to come back, say hello to everybody. Yes, everybody, please sign up for bwmakingmoney.com exclusive content. IMO, I agree with the employer. It depends on the job. Yeah, look, she says she's worked in hospitality and marketing and things like that. Suppose she has a forward-facing position or wants to have a forward-facing position with with customers that are a lot more business like. So it really does depend on the job. Alone had to do Oh, sorry. All she had to do was wear a wig. Yeah, she could have just worn a wig on the weekend, you know? Right? Wear those colored wigs out at night with the girls. Yeah. Hey, computer and coin. Yeah. So, I think this is a very interesting conversation. You're saying here, I understand having principles, but also understand shooting yourself in the foot sometimes. And she looks young. She looks young. So the question is, what kind of opportunities is she leaving on the table? I'm also reading a lot of articles about the fact that a lot of managers at companies are so frustrated with Gen Z that they are now moving to wanting to hire boomers and Gen Xers. And because for the longest time, there was a lot of ageism issues in the workplace. But so many people are so, fed up and, just like Gen Z just won't move. And some younger millennials just won't move on certain things that um, it's harder. It's harder for companies to consider it worthwhile to hire certain people. And I'm not saying anything about her because I don't know like what kind of job it was or what her situation was or anything like that. But um, if you're upwardly mobile, I do think that there are times when you don't take a job because red flags. Absolutely, there with you with regards to that. But there's something to be said for your look, your presence when it comes to upward mobility, especially in the corporate setting. She was doing marketing, she was doing hospitality. Are you going to get up to middle management, upper management with purple hair, pink hair? Probably not. So Shar is saying, I'm hearing the same thing, hiring more seasoned employees. Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing as well. So for all of my younger ladies out there, that's just a cautionary tale for all of you. She just needs to study color theory. That is the wrong pink. Business requires that hair dye follow a monochromatic color palette. Okay, I don't know enough about that. I just know that you still have boomers and older Gen Xers who are the ones who are hiring you in these companies. And they have a certain, look and status that they're looking for, type of look that they're looking for. So, D'Ambrosia's saying, I think once I leave my job, they're not hiring any young people in my department. They treat younger people like they're beneath them or like children. I'm 23, bouncing out to focus on me. Perfect. So I would say that I get both sides. I get somebody who's 23 who's like, look, this is my personality. This is how I want to be. This is how I want to live, etc. And I also get on the other end of the spectrum, the boomers, the boomer managers saying, yes, but we have a certain dress code. Yes, but we have a certain way that we interact with our customers. And if you're not willing to get on board with that, then we will not hire anybody for this position. And instead, we'll get an AI bot, or we will hire somebody in a foreign country to do this for us instead. And we can get them to come in for much less money. Playing chess, not checkers. I'm always talking with you ladies about that. And I think I think that the hair, the pink hair girl is just one of those tales where, just make sure that you have your 10-year plan mapped out, and that, whatever it is that you're agreeing to like forego, in order to keep your hair, that it's worth it. That it's worth it. Because hair, I mean, like you all said, you throw a wig on and keep moving. Keep it moving. D'Ambrosia saying, I agree. Most young people at my job dress super professional, even me. But I definitely understand both sides. Yeah. So if you are dressing professional, if you're arriving to work on time, and if you are doing your job, like, a lot of people are like just super happy with that. You don't have to do much more than that. If you're trying to be upwardly mobile, then you want to kick it up a notch in all of those areas, with your technical skills, with your soft skills, with your networks, with your look, etc. So, all right, ladies. Well, like I said, I wasn't going to be here long tonight. Just wanted to come in because I saw those stories. And if you're just getting in, rewind back to the Uberization of the workforce. That was the very first article that we talked about, because that's super important for you ladies to know what is happening in corporate America and how you can protect yourself. Like the video on the way out, and I will see you ladies later. Take care. Bye.